Hello, family. So, I was just kind of told, do a video. Don't worry about what you're going to talk about. Just get on there and express. So, I've just been earthing. It's like the most soft, amazing soil ever. And I mean, there's just so much energy like flooding in. One thing coming right now is to say, like, I've been craving carbs and like sugar, and when I realized that, I was like, interesting. The energy in the collective is that of a lot of fear. So when we are in a state of fear, we tend to crave things that are like carbs and energy and things that we can store for the just in case something happens or whatever. So if you're craving carbs or you're just like have an appetite up the wazoo, me too. And just allow yourself to, just don't judge yourself like, oh, I'm eating too much or blah blah blah. Judgment is like the number one thing to just like let go of right now. And let's see what else. I'm in some what I feel as Native American land over here in my hometown, and I had no plan on coming out here today, but it is so beautiful. And just to reconnect to nature after like a really powerful week of opening and a lot of energy movement and purging and bringing up some like subconscious, unconscious patterning and beliefs, and like working through them and allowing love in and surrendering to it. It's a lot, you know? So make sure to give yourself what I like to call integration vacations after a really powerful time of coming together with a lover or with community or with friends or your children. It's really important to take that time for yourself. And I was just at lunch with my friend Brittany, and that was one, and that's coming to me right now to say, it's like that was one thing that she was saying. She's like, man, it's like kids first, family first, husband first, and then if they're good and taken care of, then it's the business, and in like, you know, the what about me. And it's so freaking important to realize that self-love and that, like, you know what, I'm gonna take a day for myself to just maybe do nothing, to just relax, to just chill. It's so important, and it will benefit everyone else. So that came up. Let's see what else. I'm seeing some wildflowers blooming, so just know, like, we're about to hit, I think it's maybe like 9 or 10 days till the spring equinox here in the US, and there's going to be an energy shift. There's going to be an energy shift. So that winter vibe of like kind of hibernating, Mercury just went direct. So we were going through a lot of like revisiting, rewiring, reworking some things in our field. And now we're pushing forward. Mercury happened to go direct on the day of the full moon in Virgo, which was really intense and really powerful. The one thing I remember from it was I read something about it being the artist's dream chart that day, and that creative energy flowing, and also a day that we were called to truly release the past story. And I'm telling you, like, I had some triggers come up, and I just like was like, whoa, thank God I read that, because I was able to like witness myself going into some of these unconscious programs that maybe were still running in my consciousness, and I was able to grab them, look at them with my consciousness and go, do I still want this program of fight or flight or feeling trauma and then like running away. No, I want to know how to deal with my triggers with communication and with love and with heart-centered awareness, so that we can come into a deeper state of love and allowing. Excuse me, I put a mic on because I've had this mic for a while, I just never use it, but I realize sometimes in my videos I'm very low. I think I'm talking so loud and people are like, what are you saying? I'm like, okay, time to open the throat chakra. So been singing a lot, been singing a ton and opening my throat chakra and just making sounds. And the, what do they call the layer, whatever, the throat looks exactly like the yoni, and they're directly linked. So there's been a lot of, as we come into the spring energy, where like nature is literally having sex, the flowers are in bloom, the birds are making their nest. It's like everything is like starting to move again. Be ready, because like our energy is going to start to move again. So just to be aware of it, like that feeling of turned on, and that feeling of like, wanting to do the spring cleaning and wanting to like rearrange some things, plant some flowers and beautify life. And even though, yes, there is like a state of crisis, I seriously don't really know what's going on, because I've been such in my own little world, in this just like high vibrational bubble, that I didn't even really know what was going on. But when I got home yesterday, like my mom was kind of like telling me about this coronavirus, and I've seen like activation vibration and feel good talk about it, and I'm like, it just seems like another cancer, like another thing that's like they're trying to elicit fear, to like put people in fear. So, and it works, because the majority, I guess, of people are still watching the news, and I'm just like, really? I forget sometimes how I was before my awakening, like back in 2010, really awakening in 2011, but becoming much more aware back then. Anyway, it's been like a decade. So I sometimes forget, like, wow, we're still in this like sort of controlled paradigm where people are getting fed this information and totally running with it. So, is there anything to say about the coronavirus? Except that, like, I really liked this post I saw from Heather from Activation Vibration. It was about the corona actually being the crowning, and how this virus is actually creating some sort of like awareness and some sort of like, at least in a lot of the light workers and woke people, they're like, okay, this is weird. Why is this being so pushed and so scary when it hasn't even killed as many people as, like, let's say suicide or heroin or other flus? It's like the coronavirus. And it started in China. And think about China being the epicenter of production and products and a bunch of overstimulated, overcrowded energy. I mean, there's of course good things in China too, but it's just interesting that it would start there. And Trump and China, and just anytime, just for anyone who's seeing my channel, anytime you see something like this going on that's like super distracting and causing a ton of anxiety in people, there's always going to be like something else under that like they want us to be distracted from. So bringing me to ET and contact with star beings and higher energy intelligences that have been a part of this planet since since before time was actually a concept. So it's not even weird anymore to talk about that, because it's so normal. Like, I've had so many experiences. I haven't physically been on a spaceship like in this body that I remember, but I've had experiences with UFOs. I've had experiences with connecting with collective beings that are of a different planetary origin. I've had help and like direct asks and boom manifestations from, we'll say, the Lyrans, the Syrians, and the Pleiadians. So it's not even weird to me, and I'm sure some of you who've watched my channel have been abducted, who've had all these experiences as well, who see UFOs at night and sky watchers. So just be prepared. Like, I don't know what else to say about the coronavirus, but there's something happening, and I just can't put my finger on it. So let's ask the angels and gods and goddesses and just see if there's anything in this moment to, bring clarity to, or just bring awareness to, a message to. Goddess of compassion. Kuan Yin vibes. Yeah, compassion. We really are opening our hearts, and we're really diving deep into our humanness and also into our star origins and our galactic origins. And this purple is really sticking out to me, and purple has like kind of been coming into my awareness. And the crown chakra is associated with the purple. So just know we're in a really rapid ascension. What took me 10 years might take you 6 months. What took someone 20 years might take you 2 years. We are in a state of ascension, and whatever that is for you, it doesn't matter where you are, and just start to come to the only purpose I have is to feel what I'm feeling. Whether that's, holy shit, I feel angry. Yay! You're human. Feel it. And then all of a sudden, you might feel really happy. Yay! You're human. But non-attachment is a really, really key thing right now. So not being attached to anything, any idea, any label, and just really being in the moment and knowing that really it's all for love. It's all for love, and this is a unification process. This is really the goal, is to unify humanity. We have to unify more together before we can unify with these other races and beings beyond this planet Earth. We're a really tiny little speckle in a big, large galaxy. So it's time to open our awareness. It's time to have compassion on ourselves, because we've been sort of like lied to and fed a lot of bullshit to keep us controlled. So also this card fell out again, and it's the pleasure card, which was in the March reading. So if you haven't seen that, you can go watch it. But take pleasure in the things you do. So that, I think this is confirmation. Keep going towards what feels good, and don't give any like airtime to what doesn't feel good and complaining. Just focus on, damn, this feels really good. Ooh, I like this. This tastes really good. In sex too. Focus on what feels good for you in intimacy, in your own self-pleasure practice, in your practice with a partner. Focus on what feels good, and you're gonna amplify that and create these more ecstatic experiences that are way beyond, and that will tap you into this crown chakra. I love you, and I'll see you soon.